Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, so the Data Plus AI Summit 2025 just wrapped, and wow, Databricks unleashed, just a ton of new product announcements.
Yeah, it was quite the barrage, wasn't it? Hard to keep track.
Totally. My inbox is still recovering. So our mission today is basically to cut through all that noise for you. We want to pull out the really important bits, the surprising stuff from this latest wave.
Find the signal in the noise,
Well,
essentially.
exactly. Especially around their big push for, AI everywhere and making data easier for everyone to use. Okay, let's dig in.
Let's do it.
All right, first up, maybe the biggest surprise for a lot of folks. Databricks is jumping into the OLTP market. That's online transactional processing. They've announced Lakebase. It's currently in public preview, a managed PostgreSQL database for transactions.
Yeah.
That feels like a pretty major new direction, wouldn't you say?
It does, yeah, on the surface. But what's really fascinating, I think, is the how. It's not just standard OLTP. Well, Lakebase separates storage and compute. That's the key. Unlike traditional databases where they're, locked together.
Right, okay. And why is that separation such a big deal?
Well, think back to their acquisition of Neon. Remember them?
Vaguely, yeah. They did serverless PostgreSQL.
Exactly. Serverless PostgreSQL built on that exact same separated architecture. So suddenly Lakebase doesn't look like such a pivot. It feels more like the next logical step.
Ah, got it. Building on previous acquisitions. Makes sense.
And this architecture, it's also really well suited for ephemeral databases, the kind AI agents might just spin up quickly for a task, use, and then ditch. Super agile.
Okay, interesting. So it's not just PostgreSQL. It's PostgreSQL reimagined for this sort of AI-driven world.
Precisely.
Which brings us nicely to the agents themselves. If they need these databases, how do we actually build these complex AI agents? That seems to be where Databricks comes in, right? It's in beta now?
Yeah, Databricks is a big one. The goal here seems to be lowering the technical hurdles for building what they call agentic workflows.
Agentic workflows.
Yeah.
So like AI systems that can actually plan and execute tasks on their own. Multi-step stuff.
Exactly that. Autonomous systems. And what's really novel, I think, is how they're using LLMs as, like, judges.
Judges. How does that work?
So imagine one large language model sets a task, another AI agent tries to do it, and then a third LLM evaluates the result. Like, did you actually do what I asked correctly?
Wow. Okay, so AI evaluating AI.
Yeah. Kind of like robots, building robots, or at least supervising them. It could really speed up developing and ensuring the quality of these complex AI processes. They mentioned things like info extraction, Q&A, stuff like that, right out of the box.
That sounds powerful for scaling AI work. Okay, so we've got the new database tech, we've got the tools to build agents. What about the data pipelines feeding everything, the data engineering side?
They didn't forget that. That's where Lakeflow Designer comes in. And they use this term I quite liked. Vibe engineering.
Vibe engineering. Okay, what does Lakeflow Designer actually do?
So it's essentially a low-code editor, but for declarative pipelines.
Declarative meaning.
Yeah,
You say what you want, not how to do it step by step.
exactly. You define the end state. But the really cool part is the natural language editor. You can literally just, tell it what you want the pipeline to do. Describe your data needs in English.
Seriously, just talk to it.
That's the idea. It builds the pipeline based on your description. It could, fundamentally change data engineering. Less about wrestling with code, more about designing the flow.
Making it accessible to people who know the data, but maybe not the deep coding.
Precisely. Domain experts could potentially just speak their requirements into existence. Though, complex pipelines will probably still need some expert oversight, right?
Sure. But still, very interesting. Okay, and then for the people at the end of the line, the business users, what's new for them? I saw Databricks 1 and some AI/BI Genie updates mentioned.
Absolutely. Big focus there, too. Databricks 1 is basically a whole new portal for business folks. It's designed to be much cleaner, less intimidating than the traditional Databricks interface.
Trying to get more business users actually using the data and reports directly.
That seems to be the goal, yeah. Making data intelligence feel more approachable. And then you pair that with the AI/BI Genie updates. Specifically, this new deep research mode.
Deep research mode, what does that entail? It's more than just writing SQL queries.
Oh yeah, much more. Think of it less like a SQL generator and more like a junior analyst.
Okay.
So it doesn't just fetch the data you ask for. It then goes off, looks at related data, runs maybe multiple queries, and comes back with insights and actual recommendations. Like, here's the trend, and here's maybe why it matters for next quarter's strategy.
Wow, so it's interpreting and advising, not just fetching. That's a pretty big leap for AI and BI.
It really is a significant step towards AI actually driving the insights, not just enabling them. It's in public preview now, so people can start trying it.
Okay, so pulling this all together,
hmm
what's the big picture here? What does this all mean for you listening in?
Well, I think the overarching theme is pretty clear. Databricks is pushing hard to make sophisticated data intelligence and AI capabilities much more accessible.
Right across the board, from transactional databases to AI agent building to data pipelines to the final business reports.
Exactly. It's about weaving this intelligence into more roles, lowering technical barriers, and streamlining the whole data lifecycle, making AI handle more of the complex analytical and even interpretive heavy lifting.
It definitely feels like a move towards a more integrated, AI-powered data platform.
Transforming how organizations can actually work with their data day to day.
So maybe a final thought for everyone listening. How might these kinds of advancements, especially things like AI agents becoming more capable and interfaces becoming conversational, how might that start to reshape roles inside your organization? Could it even create entirely new jobs as more data tasks get automated and, well, intelligent? Something to think about.